Good evening and welcome to tonight's episode of Eat Critters of 5 Plays, a board game where we gather in different locations and play a board game.
Woo.
Hurrah! So tonight I am Luke, as I always am, and I'm just waiting for any sort of signal that the audio is working. I'm sure someone will come and tell me in a moment. I have a dog at my feet. But joining me today I have Dom on this side. There he is. That's where he is.
Hello.
I always forget where the proportions are, or the directions are in relation to the camera, and that it's mirrored slightly. I never know. I know what I'm doing, sort of. But yes, Dom and I are going to be here playing a new game to us that is going to promise to be interesting.
Yeah. I've made sure not to have any dinner, so I'm nice and hungry to eat all the delicious food from the Tapestry.
Oh no, that's where we are today. That is appropriate. That sounds about right for us. Today's game, in case you didn't figure it out from that wonderful pun work, is Tapestry by Stone Meyer Games. We are going to be playing. I have been told that we sound good, so I'm going to carry on as I was. We are going to be playing Tapestry by Stone Meyer Games, designed by James Stegmaier, art by Andrew Bosley, and sculpts by Ron Brown, as it says on the rulebook that I have up here, just to keep my head, so I know what I'm doing. Yeah, we're playing Tapestry. So we are going to be playing this on Board Game Arena, but for the demo of how we're doing, hi Sapphire9218, how you doing? Saying hi for Yay Tapestry. So in order to show you what we're doing and to really get a perspective of what it looks like to have the physical game, I'm going to do the show and demonstration on Tabletopia, just because it is easier for me to pick up pieces and show you different things and how they all work. And then we're going to switch over to Board Game Arena. And the reason why we're playing it in Board Game Arena and not on Tabletopia is because of there's so many moving parts in the game and we're not as familiar with it. So we want to make sure that we capture everything correctly. Maybe down the line, if we enjoy it and if we figure it out and it works out pretty well, we'll probably come back and play it in Tabletopia, just so that we can go, okay, this is how it is dealing with it in real life. But for now, we're going to do it in BGA, but I'm going to show you in Tabletopia how the game works. So I'm going to shift over here. Dom, unfortunately, is not able to see this unless he switches on the stream. In Tapestry, we are creating a civilization. With the most storied history, we are going to go from the beginning of humankind, starting with the creation of fire, going all the way through to wherever we want it to go, really. We have got 4 tracks that we are developing our game across. Just see, Laura's just come in to take Tilly out. Aww. Bless. We have 4 tracks in which we are going to be progressing along in order to develop our civilization, and they fall under 4 different categories. We have got, whoops, I'm just going to turn that sound off. We have got science. We have got exploration. Back to science again. We have technology, and we have military. And each of those, as we progress along those tracks, give us certain benefits. And different things that we are able to do as we go along. We can choose however we want to delve into each of these tracks as much as we want to, or we can focus in on one in particular and progress that way. I'm going to come back to here. Throughout the game, we may get some different buildings. This is what I was talking about, the sculpts here, is we have these buildings that we can pick up at various points as we progress along our tracks. So as we go along our science buildings, we can get ourselves various different buildings that we can put into our capital city, which is something we'll do as we go. So normally in the various setups, we'll sort of show you how all these things work out, but because we're playing in BGA, it'll do all of that for us. So let's go back to my board here. So the way that the game works is we begin ages and we gather resources, and then we take actions depending on how we want the advanced action to advance ourselves along the individual tracks and gain the benefits that we get. At the start of the game, we are entering a age right at the beginning, and we start this Maker of Fire age, the first age of civilization. When we do that, we follow this income turn as we do this phase, and the numbers along the track show the round, or the phase, I guess, the age number in which we take these steps. So in our first stage, all we can see here is we have this open hand symbol, which is the logically and well-renowned system for gaining income. And we gain income based on our little trackers here, and our four resources that resource tracks, I guess is probably the best way to do them. We gain them depending on what is showing. So we may take off these buildings that are sat upon these different spaces as developments go on, and we will then place out, we'll gain extra benefits whenever we take the new age phase. So we have money, we have people, we have culture, and we have food. And as we go through the game, we will be gaining those resources and storing them along a track at the bottom here. And we can use those for advancing our tracks. So we have a look at the exploration track. Once we've done our basic phase, we can go in and we can just pay a food to advance into the first phase of the exploration age. And we'll keep making our advances in our various tracks and our different routes as we wish to. We can advance as far as we like, or choose to stop at whatever point we want to. But as we do, we are going to be paying the resource that is shown at the top. So for exploration at the start, you need to have a food, any of the four resources you can pay to advance along the track. In the first place, you will do scouting, and you will gain 2 tiles that you can then place out into the island in the centre. Well, no, you don't place them into the centre, sorry, you put them into your board face up, so you have them as options to play out at a later stage. In the second phase, you will be paying a food as well as any resource. In the third phase, or third stage, I guess, you are paying 1 food and 2 of any resources, and then in the final one, you're going to be paying 2 food. And those resources will vary depending on the track that you are advancing on. So for science, you need to have people. For war, you need to have culture. And for technology, you need to have money. That will make sense to me. I'm not entirely certain that culture and war necessarily go together, but hey, it is what it is. So as we advance up the different tracks, we're going to be gaining different benefits, and we'll sort of explain those as we play through the game, because as I say, Board Game Arena is going to be doing a lot of that for us. And one of the other things I did mention is we are going to be gaining buildings. So we also have our capital city here. And this, one of these 2 boards we will get to choose from will determine on where we are starting in regards to this big central area in the middle, this big island. And we are going to be placing, when we get the opportunity to, placing houses and huts and other buildings into one of these squares. And we can see up here that when we fill in a 9x9 square, like a Sudoku, then we are going to gain 1 resource of our choosing. I believe it's 1 resource, it's not one of everything. You also gain points for, you also notice these little dots here, they are occupied spaces. It's either due to inaccessible terrain like water or mountains or dense forestry or whatever. We can't build there. So if we want to build, we have to build around them, but they do count as filled in spots. So like in the cavern or the gorge part of Cartographer's map, it counts as being filled in. That's pretty much the basics. There are other elements that will come to combat and taking over different areas of our civilization as part of the exploration and conquering actions that we can take along the track. But I think those are probably best to explain as we go through, because otherwise we're going to be here for quite a while, and it does make a little bit more sense to play through the game. There's lots
to talk about.
There's lots of things to talk about, and I think it will give you a sense of a strategy. Dom and I will probably go for very different ones. So you can get an idea of how individual strategies go, and if we play this game, we'll probably do something different. If you want to see a full video of how to play this game, don't come to us. Either read the rulebooks or go on YouTube and find a video that's better suited for teaching this sort of game that we've never played.
As this is our first go, we're probably going to give a demonstration of how not to play this game.
Yes, they do have expectations that you can get over 100 points I'm not entirely certain that either of us are going to be able to do that, but we'll find out. We may stumble across it somehow.
It says over 300 points.
Well, we can get up to 400 as potential.
I think aiming for 100 might be quite good.
Good for our starting game. Alright, so I'm going to close down Tabletop. I'm going to switch our screens for a moment just to our two chat phases. I get the game set up. Dom, entertain the chat for me. Tell us about your day, how things have been going.
Yeah, I've been on the early shifts at work, so trying to play this new and complex game with a brain that's trying to go to sleep should be interesting. Yeah, it was a fairly easy day. Spent most of it sort of doing for those of you who don't know, I work at a hospital in the wonderfully named Nuclear Medicine Department, which is real honest. You can look it up. And yeah, so I was doing one of our longer procedures where I sort of basically spent most of the day doing various bits on one person. They were very nice.
We've got 9 plurals alpha 86 says, I'm already entertained. So that's always a plus. It's always nice to hear. Alright. So.
Are you not entertained?
I am entertained, but I'm also getting warm, so I'm going to take this hoodie off. So bear with me 1 second. Keep everyone entertained whilst I take my ears off.
That's a thought. I wonder if we do get to build coliseums and gladiator fights at some point. As a sort of civilization building game, it seems like it should be.
It's Tom, by the way. Hi, Tom. I'm just gonna call plurals alpha. We're just going to go with that because that makes it easiest for us to identify you if anyone's ever wondering. How are you feeling, Tom? I know it's been a bit of a rough day for you. Dom, what colour have you got, by the way, just whilst I'm setting this up?
That's a very good question.
Are you able to tell? It's not a trick question, it's just BG. I like to have the meeples to show that what colour we're playing as.
I mean, your text is in green. I don't know if that means you're playing green. Mine's in red. So maybe I'm playing red? Yeah, I think I'm playing red.
I would
so red outposts and green outposts.
I would assume you are playing red, which is usual for us. Why is this not picking up the window that I want? All the days are blowing together and the game tonight isn't helping matters. I'm sorry. There we go.
Yes, one of the first things you get to do in this game
is
pick a sort of, I guess you'd call it a specialisation thing, or a sort of a what your people are good at. So I had a choice between craftsmen who want to create a wonder of the world massive statue, which gives you an extra board you can place buildings on, as well as your capital city, and it gives you bonuses when you do that. Or it could have been nomads who can put buildings on the map instead of in their capital city, and gain resources or control territories that way. But I've decided not to go with them because apparently you can still be conquered. So you could, if I built a building on the map, you could come along and conquer that bit.
I could, yes.
I'd lose my building. So yeah, I decided to be craftsman and build my giant wonder.
Very nice.
And my capital city had a choice of mountain or forest, which I think is mainly just aesthetic. So I went for mountain on the basis I can carve a big statue out of mountain.
Sure, why not? Plurals Alpha 86 has said that it is his nickname is, or the username is, a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy reference. I've never seen Hitchhiker's Guide to the reference, as I'm sure you are astounded to hear, Dom, knowing how much pop culture I know. Alright,
You're ashamed to Quadrant ZZ9 Plural Z Alpha.
Yes. Anyway, alright, so I have got the Alchemists to choose from. So they like to push their luck in the hopes of accelerated development. At the beginning of my income turns in 4 and 5, I can roll the science die and mark the result with a player token. I can then roll again or stop. When I roll an advancement I've already rolled, I bust. Remove all tokens and gain any resources consolation for your terrible luck. Otherwise, you stop. when you start your advance on each of the advancement tracks, you do not gain the benefits and the bonuses. New Dom would get it. That's fair. Yeah, Dom would know things. I do not gain any benefits or bonuses, then I remove all the tokens. Each time the final result of this ability will push me off the end of the track, I gain 5 victory points. And then the adjustment is when I start the game with the Alchemists, I gain any resource, and 2 victory points. Okay?
Okay, that's interesting, because by going for the craftsman, I have to lose any resource at the start of the game.
And the Merrymakers frequently celebrate love and life. The longer the festival, the better. Start with 1 player token at the bottom of each track. At the beginning of income's turns 2 and 5, select 1 token to advance upwards and gain the first benefit that it lands on. So I've got a little track on... I've got a little quadrant of stuff that I can do, or I can pick up on my board. Another person, and when I start the game with the Merrymakers, I gain any resource. Do you know what? I'm feeling the Alchemists.
They do sound fun.
That sounds more interesting to me. And then I've got the choice of tropical or grassland. Let's see. Those boards do look rather busy, but I do like the nice open spaces and the amount of water that I get in the tropical zone. So I'm going to go for tropical. So this is our capital map that I am choosing to have for the world. Do let us know how well you can see everything in the game world. People in chat. Not sure what I just picked up there. That's weird. So Dom, you are up first. You get to choose your civilization adjustment.
Yeah. The first thing I have to do is lose a resource, which is slightly annoying because I'm not quite sure what I'm going to want yet. Hey-ho.
So I'm just going to have a look at the technology that is available at the moment, see if that makes a difference to how you might want to advance your technology.
Good thought.
So we have the assembly line. The circle benefit is you gain the square benefit of 1 tech card in your top row. The square benefit is you gain the circle benefit of the tech card in your middle row. So with the technology, you can advance these technologies as they go from across, which means they haven't really, you sort of started working on them, into a circle, which means you've got a base understanding onto a square, which means you have fully, I was going to say rounded out, but that doesn't really work because you've gone from a circle to a square. But whatever. You gain additional benefits as you improve the technology. The further up, the more corners it has, the better. The library, you gain 3 victory points when you upgrade it to the circle. The square, you get to place the library in your capital city. The prerequisite of being able to place the library, you or your neighbour must have discovered houses writing. And the landmark size is 2 by 4. So that's one of the key things about when we put things into our board. They will take up a different size and shape over the red dots, but you can put them so that the overall shape does hang off the board if you are struggling to fit it in. And the final technology is the treasury. You gain 4 victory points for the circle, and you can place the treasury in your capital city, which is as the square benefit, and it is a 2 by 2 landmark. So that is all. Dom, it appears that you are the first player, so you are still choosing things.
Yeah, I've done my civilization adjustment. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do next.
This is another benefit of being in board gaming. Sorry, Dom, to cut you off.
Okay.
But you can hover your mouse over the individual spaces on each of the tracks, and you can see what the benefit is that you will get if you choose to advance on it. So rather than having a reference sheet to hand, you can just hover your mouse over it and just go, ooh, that's what I would get.
Okay. Let's go with that. Sure, why not? Okay.
There it is. What have you gone for?
I'm trying to go for an explore, but I'm not quite sure how to make it happen.
So have you confirmed what you were doing or undone? Did you have to get rid of 2 resources?
No, just the one, but maybe I do have to confirm that.
Yes, because now I gain my resources.
Ah, there we go. Yes.
Hmm.
I was thinking I was meant to be having an actual turn, but
Yeah, I think this is just the setup section of it. Alright, I'm going to take a food, and I think I will take... I'm going to take some some culture. Confirm my turn. Alright, it is your turn then, Dom. You can either advance or you can take income. Now bear in mind, in the first game, in the first turn, you have to take income, but we have already done that. Board Game Arena has already done that for us.
okay, I think I will go for an explore.
Okay.
So I've got. Okay, I thought I'd got. I've been putting those tiles down, but they seem to have gone to my.
Yes, so the first stage is you draw them into your hand.
Yeah.
You gain 2 territory tiles. The next space on there is you get to place one of the territory tiles from your supply to the map.
Got it.
So you gain a victory point for each aligning side, and you gain the benefit on the tile. So what I mean by aligning side is you can see each of these tiles here have got one of several different terrain types. You've got sort of mountains, we've got forest, we've got grasslands, we've got beach, desert, and sea. Each of the tiles that Dom has now picked up has got one or more of those different icons upon them to match up. So if Dom was to place this forest tile, if he was to match up the forest to another forest, so say here, he would gain a victory point for matching that up. And so any part of it, so each of the sections are divided into 2, effectively. Each of the lines have got 2 parts on them, and they will either have 1 or 2 different terrain types on them. So if any of those match up, then they get a point. I am going to... I'm going to advance on science, I think. So I'm going to pay a person to advance up the science track. So I got to roll the dice. I get to choose to advance again. I have rolled another science spot, so I can advance into mathematics. So normally, what would happen is I would gain a tapestry card, and then I can pay a resource to gain a house. But because I've rolled it on the dice, I don't get that benefit. So I just advance on the track for free, which is not bad, to be honest, because I then get 2 spaces up on the science track, and that's pretty helpful. Dom, it's your turn.
Yeah. Well, as I seem to have committed to exploring, I may as well carry on. Which piece would I like to play? Let's work that out before I start spending stuff. Oh, okay, that's neat. Sorry, I just spotted that the options for advancing or income come up at the top as well as on the board.
Yes, they do.
Okay. So let's try. tile. Yes. Let's do that and that. Select an unexplored hex adjacent to a territory I control.
So you can pick one of the 3 hexes that are next to your place with your towers in them.
Yeah. Okay, I thought I'd selected that. Why is it coming up with a red box? It's not selected.
You clicked on need to click on the tile, or you need to click on the space. I can't. This is the downside of it being.
No, it's fine. No, I know what I'm doing wrong.
What have you not done?
I think I was looking at the wrong bit of the map. Okay, yeah, that makes sense now.
This is a downside in playing in Board Game Arena, is that you can't see what the other person is doing until they've done it. But on the other hand, this is helping us play the game a little bit easier, so I'm okay with that.
So select that. Select that. How do I pivot it? That's how I pivot it. And that looks like it has matching tiles, so that should work. Yes.
Yep.
And I can pay a resource to gain a tapestry card.
You could.
Seems worthwhile.
Right. I think.
Now I need to work out how to play those.
Tapestry cards come in when you advance to the next stage.
Ah, right. Okay.
So I have a choice here. I can either advance my to herbalism, which is the next step on the science track, or I could do some stuff. I think I'm going to do some archery. So I'm going to advance on the culture track, on the military track. I can pick a hex that is adjacent to one of the ones that I control. So I'm going to go here. And when I've done that, I get to roll the dice. So I get to choose one of these benefits. I either get 1 food, or 1 coin, sorry, or I can gain 1 victory point per my number of controlled territories. Currently I control 2, so I would get 2 victory points, or I can get a coin. I think for the moment I'm going to get a coin. I think it will benefit me to just have more resources. And now I've got the benefit of when I go to explore and I want to place tiles out, I've got 3 more hexes that I can place out into. Dom, it is your turn, sir.
Yes. Okay. I seem to be running somewhat short on resources. So I only have a mushroom.
Yes, that is the thing. You can at any point choose to take income and advance to the next stage, playing a tapestry card as part of it, and getting a development. So it is up to you when you choose to do that. Of course, you can choose to advance on your wagons track, or any of the other tracks, I suppose. It is up to you.
Yep. Gaining a farm could potentially be useful.
Mm-hmm.
So that will unlock a thing in my farm, though, won't it?
Correct. So if you take one of the... In fact, I'm going to zoom in on this section here.
That seems like a good farm.
So under each of these spaces, you gain a different thing for each of the houses that you take up. So if Dom took farming, he would gain an extra food when he collects resources. The next one is breeding, which is interesting, but we get 4 victory points as a result.
What are my other options? Gaining a tech card. wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. It was a bit of a gamble.
Well, you can gain one of the ones which are face up or a face down tech card.
Yeah, I don't think any of the face up ones are much use at the minute. Do- Now you know what? Let's see what happens if I go conquering.
Okay.
So let's try that. Makes X adjacent to a territory I control.
Ooh.
So I can gain a food or 7 victory points.
That's pretty good.
It's quite an interesting gamble because that was my last resource. So if I take the victory points, I then need to engage and proceed to the next one.
Yes.
Whereas if I take the food, I guess basically another go.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'll take the food.
That's a good call.
On the basis that doing stuff is probably a good thing to do.
I usually find it useful to be able to do stuff. Alright, I'm going to go for herbalism. I'm going to spend money to advance along the science track. So I now have the benefit. I can either roll a die again and not get the benefit of whatever comes up on it, or I can gain a house to then put into my little homestead. If I gain a house, I gain an extra person when I develop in my when I go to develop in the next stage. I think I'm all about my characters are all about the alchemists are all about gambling, so I'm going to research and just go for it. So I got pottery, so I can advance on the tech track, which I might as well do. I will advance on the tech track. Oh, that's interesting. I have the option to undo. I wonder how far it'll let me go. No, not that far. Not to before I roll the dice. Which is fair enough. That makes sense. Alright, Dom, it is your turn.
Yes. Okay, what should I do with my food? So, I could go for bladed weapons, but that doesn't seem optimal because I wouldn't have a resource to pay.
But you do get a benefit of an extra tapestry card.
Yeah, I've got a couple of those already.
That's
so
true.
I don't think I need one at the minute.
That's the point. I have one. How do I see my hand?
Mine are sort of face up below my player board.
Ah, yes, there it is. Let's have a look at what I've got. Interesting.
I could go for science.
For science! Get a free advance on any track, but it will be random.
Yeah, so that could be quite useful.
It's quite fun. I quite like it.
I could go for pottery.
One of the things I've heard about this game is a lot of people think a lot of different game groups can play this game and will get it, say that one track is broken in ways that the others aren't, and then in different games they'll go, oh no, the military is completely the way to go, and some will say, no, science is completely the way to go, or technology. And I think that's interesting that you've got such a variety of different routes that you can take.
Okay, let's go for science.
Okay. Might as well
See
roll the die of fate. Exploration.
So I must choose wagons.
So you don't get the benefit for it, but when you advance to the next stage on your exploration track, you're going to get some pretty good bonuses. Okay. I'm going to advance bladed weapons. I want to get bladed weapons. Give me one more money. I guess it just... at this stage, they just get me an extra resource regardless of where I go. So I would advance in the bladed weapons. which gains me a tapestry card, and I'm going to pay a food to gain an armory, which I can place. Can I zoom in? Oh, okay, that's gone kind of the way I wanted it to. Ah, there's the zoom button.
Ooh, so you're placing a structure.
I am planting a structure. I'll put it here. Okay. That is my turn. Oops. Stop doing that.
So, okay, so, oh, there we go. I have, as I've run out of resources, it seems to be telling me I choose my resources to gain.
You do, yes. Well, is that part of your ability?
I don't know.
Craftsman. So let's have a look. You may place income buildings here as an alternative to a capital city. You must place them on the lowest space available in the column of your choice. As you cover a benefit, you gain it immediately. This grid counts as part of your capital city for building benefits, but does not score completed rows or columns here.
I don't think it's anything to do with that. I think it's to do with going to the next era.
Ah, you pick which of your tapestry cards you can use.
No, it's saying I have to choose my resources to gain.
Oh, surely you just gain one of everything.
That's what I thought. Right, activate civilization abilities if applicable, which isn't. Ah, there we go. I play a tapestry card.
Yes.
And
because you're
going to gain some resources.
Because you're the first person to play to go into the next stage, you gain an extra resource.
That makes sense.
I've just remembered that part of the video that I watched.
Okay.
Equip and survive. We're here to play games, not learn them.
I'm going to get resources of the territories I control, I think.
You should, I believe so, yeah. So you should gain your extra culture.
Yeah, so I don't necessarily need to pick the culture. Okay.
It just depends on if you want to gain additional culture because you want to explore war more, or if you want to gain more food to do some more exploring.
Yep. Okay. Let's take that and see what happens. So, play a tapestry card. Well, only one of them is of any use at the minute. So let's play that. Let's play democracy.
Mm.
So I get to draw 3 tapestry cards, and then I discard any number of tapestry cards from my hand to gain 2 victory points for each one.
Ooh, very nice. So you now have 4 in your hand, so you can get rid of the one that you thought was not particularly useful, as well, I assume.
Yeah.
Nice.
Ooh, wow. That's some nice stuff there. Ooh, and that could be interesting. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so there's 3 of them that seem possibly useful. I'm just going to get rid of the one that seemed useless.
Okay.
Because it involves spending victory points to get resources.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, you have no tech cards, so levels 1 or 2, so there's no upgrade opportunity. That's fine.
Yes, there we go. I did something wrong there, didn't I?
Well, it depends. If you're progressing on different tracks, you don't necessarily go for technology.
I've missed out on effectively a free bonus.
That is true.
I should have gone for technology.
That's okay. All right, I am going to take another advancement. I think. Do I want to do that? Yeah, I have the option here. So I'm still in my first phase, so I haven't taken income as of yet. So I could choose to advance on one track. I could advance on a couple of tracks. I could choose to advance on my military track and place another armory out, which would mean I get more resources next turn. Or I could jump ahead on my science and get a benefit there, and I would gain a landmark, which would fill out some spaces. I think I'm going to get the landmark. So I have to pay my person, and I have to pay my coin to advance that, and I gain the apothecary. So I can place the apothecary here, which is nice. So I can play that there. Tick. And now, because I have filled out a square of my Sudoku, which was a quite easy one to fill out to be fair, I gain an extra bonus resource. I think I will take people. And now it is Dom's turn. So even though Dom has advanced to the next age before me, he can still take his turns. It just means his people have developed to the next phase of their technology or whatever faster than mine have. So it doesn't really make too much difference in the grand scheme of things. I might eventually overtake Dom as I spend my resources, and I might need to advance my age sooner. Now this is interesting, chat. You can see my cards here. The card I'm hovering over is not a common card, and yet I have two of them. Dom, what would you like to do with your turn?
Good question. Okay. I think I'm going to go for some bladed weapons.
Mm-hmm.
I want to spend that. I can pay an extra resource to get an armory.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'll go with that one.
Okay.
There we go. I gained an armory which I now place in my city.
Yep. Let's have a look at where you're going to put that.
I think just on the edge.
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Okay. So I've got one resource left. I can choose to advance one resource, one track as well, or I could just pass and take the income phase, so I would have more resources for next turn. I think I'm going to... no. I'm going to take the income. I still... Yes, Tabletop Board Game Arena is advising me that am I sure I wish to take an income turn? I still have a possible advance I can afford. Yes, but I don't lose the resource that I have, so that's more beneficial for me next turn. So let's see what I have rolled with the Alchemist. So I have... Let's roll. Okay, so that's science. Let's roll again. I have a 50-50 shot of this not working. I'm going to roll again. Yes! Okay, I'm stopping. So I got to advance on the technology, science, and military tracks because of that role. And I get to play
Very
a
nice.
Tapestry cards. I'm going to play the Age of Wonders. The Age of Wonders, when played, if I have the most landmarks, I gain 12 victory points. I gain 2 resources if I had the fewest landmarks, and if we had tied, I would have gained a food and 6. So we'll just split the difference. Interesting. It is you again. Interesting.
Okay, so I don't think I want to do that. That could be worthwhile. That's not worthwhile. Oh, okay, that's probably worth it. Let's go for some science.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so pay a resource to gain a house. Yes, and there we go. That's where I went wrong last time. I think I should have played it in my craftsman bit.
And gain the various bonuses from there. Yeah, that's fair. Okay. So Dom's little craftsman has this extra track that he can place his workers onto to gain those extra resources, which is pretty useful actually. You get technology. So where you're going, you've got people. You get an extra person. You gain a tile, and then you'll get 5 points if you keep going on that track. Okay, my turn. It is.
Yeah, well. No. I thought something weird had happened, but I was looking at the wrong board.
Were you looking at mine?
Yep. It's like, why hasn't the grey thing, the house moved?
Alright, I'm going to spend a food and I'm going to expand my domain. I'm going to expand it like that. So I gain 3 victory points, and I'm going to spend a culture to gain a bonus tapestry card. That's all I've got. Ooh, interesting.
I'm not 100% sure how this. Oh no, I do know how that works. This doesn't look where I want it to. Okay, well. Okay. So let's go with this strategy again. So if I go and do herbalism, I can spend my thing. I can build the house, and I can pop the house on my track.
Yep.
To gain a hexagon. I don't know what that means.
It's one of the tiles, one of the face down tiles, the terrain tiles.
Oh right, I've got some of them already, I don't need more. So let's stick it there and gain a resource.
Yep.
Aha, there we go, I'm doing stuff.
You're doing stuff. Always a benefit. Right, what have I got resource wise? I am going.
I've discovered language and writing, so my people can talk and write stuff now, which is probably quite helpful.
So now you've discovered writing, then I think that means that we can gain the library. Now I have advanced on the military track. I have gained the barracks, which is another 2x2. I think it's 2x2. I can put it there. Let's see. Yes. In fact, I'm going to put it down here. Confirm. And then I've gained a victory point for the single tile I have in my realm. And that ends my turn.
Okay, so yeah, let's see if I can get the library, see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I invent the library, what happens?
Oh, you could have invented dynamite.
Okay, so it's gone there. Not sure how I then get it to my city, but...
So that is part of your city now. So it's when it advances to the square. So when it has to advance twice.
Ah, yes, as it moves up the track.
As it moves up its own track. Yes.
Got it.
And there's no limit to how many of the technology cards you can have in your various stages. All right, it is me. I am going to advance to cavalry. So I'm going to spend a person. I am going to take an armory first. I'm going to put the armory over here. Confirm. And then I can spec a hex adjacent to my territory to gain one. So I can gain a food or 5 victory points. Now I'm currently on 26 victory points. Dom is on 4.
Then.
I am going to take food. Because I agree with what you said of being able to take more action seems better than gaining victory points. Well, to be fair, I got lucky with my civilization cards, my tapestry card. It's just the Age of Wonders. You know, getting 12 victory points for just having one landmark seems ridiculously overpowered for an early stage card. But I just got lucky. Alright, what are you planning to do this day, sir?
Okay. Well, I think I've only got one resource left, so... Ooh, that's an interesting thing. Do I want to do that? Okay. Well, I think this is a thing, so let's see what happens.
So, if you don't... Yeah, I figured you were going to do that. So, what Dom is able to do here is moved into the wall spot. He is able to either take a hut to build a barracks into his, or armory, I guess it is, into his space, or he can attempt to conquer. So, he can build...
Try to conquer.
However, I have a trap card.
Damn it.
So, trap cards allow you to, if your opponent tries to conquer one of your territories, you can gain a resource and topple over their outpost. So if you topple over an outpost, you do not control it, but only 2 outposts or buildings can be in a particular area. So I'm considered to now continue to control it because I had a trap. And now neither of us can put any more into that area, if that makes sense. I am going to gain... I am choosing a resource and just picking which one I want. Let's go with... I think I want to try and stick to just progressing up one of 2 tracks. So I'm going to gain a culture. But you do still get to take the benefit from the dice that were rolled, interestingly. Because you made the conquer action.
Yeah.
And this, I think the direct conflict is one of the few direct player interactions that we have. Okay. I am going to go and develop gunpowder. So I'm going to pay a gold to conquer the area that you conquered. So I have a choice here. I can either gain a territory card. You may play a trap card, apparently, if you have one. Dom?
Yeah, hang on.
Sorry.
I'm trying to work out if I have any trap cards.
I think it just says trap card on it. I think it just says trap as its name. So if you hover your mouse over it, it'll bring up a larger image.
Yeah.
I would feel like it wouldn't say that you may play a trap card if you didn't have one. Otherwise, it's a mean thing for Board Game Arena to do.
I don't think I have one, so I'm going to try saying I play one and see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. I said I'd try and play one, it's telling me it can't find one.
Oh, okay. And why is it asking? Okay, so I can choose to take an explore tile, or I can gain the victory points. I think I'm going to take the blank tile, because why not? Bonus, I get to gain a resource to pay a resource to gain an armory. I'm going to pay a food and gain an additional armory that I can put down into my realm. So I'm going to put there, and because I have filled out another one of the hexes, I gain another resource. I don't know why I keep saying it as resource, enunciating the re for some reason. I don't know why. I will take, what's this? Tank factory. Interesting. I'll take a people. I feel like if I'm going to progress with science, I'm going to need people. Confirm. Okay. Is your turn. Jeez.
It is.
I feel like that there's going to be a point where you're just going to surge in points, because it doesn't feel right that I'm on 36 and you're on 4.
I don't know, at the minute it feels like I'm just falling further and further behind, because you've now taken over my territory, so I'm going to have, not only to not gain the one I tried to conquer, I'm now going to have less resources in the future. You take one of mine. So I'm not quite sure how that's going to work out. Okay. Well, I think I have a plan
Okay.
of sorts. Yes. Okay, let's give this a try. I'm going to take some income. I do have one possible advance I can afford, so I don't want it.
Yeah, that's fair. Because you're going to gain a bonus 2 resources when you go into the new age anyway.
Yes, so what am I going to want? Probably some... Oh, I'll get 2 resources. Awesome.
Yeah. And if you go into the 3rd age, you get 3 resources, which is handy.
Yeah. Okay, so I think I want them, and one of them. Play my Tapestry card. I'm going to activate the wartime economy as you're apparently conquering me.
Ooh, wartime economy. Any bonus that costs any resource is free. Ooh, that's powerful.
Yeah,
That's a good card.
and that's why I didn't want to take my last advancement, because now I'm going to get
Yeah, no, that's
go on the tech track. I'm going to get the bonus for free.
yeah, that's an excellent choice. Well done. All right, I am going to go for biology. I'm going to pay 1 culture and 1 person. Now I could take a hut, or I could roll on the track and gain the benefits of it. I think I'm in a good situation with all of these, so I'm going to research and see what happens. Wagons, so I can advance here. So I can either gain a hut or I can explore. What hut have I got? I've got one tiny little island that is surrounded by sea. So I think I will explore, actually. Let's see. So I can get 1, 2, 3. I can get 3 points. It's going to be 3 points either way, wherever I place it, because of its positioning. So I'm going to put it there. And rotation is just for making it look aesthetically pleasing. It has no benefit to the game. So I gain 3 victory points for that.
So hang on to those. Hang on to those. Hang on to those. So yeah. So let's go along with the technology track.
Okay.
Yes, I would like the free thing.
Yeah, so like free stuff, please.
And confirm.
Okay. So I only have 2 choices now. I can either go navigation or carpentry. If I go navigation, I get a landmark and I get to put out another hex. So I think I'm going to go navigation. So I'll pay my people and my food. And I get a lighthouse.
Damn it, I was going to go for that next turn.
So I get a lighthouse. And then I can put an unexplored hex. So what have I got hex-wise? Let's go there. I can upgrade the technology, but I don't have any upgrades to any technology to upgrade. So that's unfortunate. Let's confirm that. Alright, your turn.
Ooh, that's interesting. So you've claimed the lighthouse.
Mm-hmm. I like this. I think this is very clever.
Yeah, I'm just trying to work out what to do. It's one of these ones where it's sort of, okay, if I do this, then do that, and then do the other.
Mm-hmm. One thing whilst Dom is taking a turn, down here there are 3 other little tracks that are worth considering. So if you complete an advancement track, you get 10. If you're the first one to do so, you get 10 points. If you're the second, you get 5. If you topple opponents' buildings, you also gain a certain amount of victory points. So you can see my cube has already gone onto the track because I defeated 2 of Dom's. And if you conquer the middle island, you get some bonus points as well.
Okay.
There's a lot to think about in this game.
Yeah.
What's your current thinking?
I'm
Good.
thinking about. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go tech, and I'm wondering whether to take the treasury
Mm-hmm.
or place the market, because that would give me a bonus resource.
Hmm.
But you know what? This is the one track where I'm actually ahead of you, so let's keep going along and take tech.
Okay.
I will invent.
So we've now got the printing press. Interesting. Okay. I have to pass to the next phase because I have nothing left, so I'm going to roll. So that is that's on the military. I'm going to roll again. Also on military, so unfortunately I don't get anything this time around, but I do get a bonus resource. That's not the worst thing in the world, actually, to be fair, to not advance on the track this time, because it gave me a different benefit. I am going to play the oil magnate. So I choose one of the tracks that I wish to advance, and both of us will advance on that track, but only I will get the benefit of that track, and then I can choose to pay for the bonus if there is one there. So I have a choice here. Ooh. Gain the benefit or pay to gain the bonus if any of your current position on any advancement track. Yeah, okay. Go here. I conquer a territory. If it's conquered by, I get the benefits of both conquer dice. I think I'm going to advance science. So both of us jump forward in science, and I get to place the academy structure. Which is a 4x2 structure. I'm going to rotate it. And I think I can place it here. Yes, I can. I just need to get 2 in there. A good bit in there, I suppose. But I need to get 3. No, that works for me. Okay, I'm going to confirm that there. So I can select a cube on my track. I'm going to take the one for the gunpowder. I'm going to conquer the middle hex and gain a culture. And then I'm going to pay a culture to gain an armory as well, which I can place here to fill out this row. Dom, you may also choose to advance on the science track, I believe. You may choose not to.
I don't see why I wouldn't. I would choose not to.
Well, the reason why you might not necessarily want to is because you want to gain the benefit that option would give you. So that going on that spot on the track would give you a victory point for each tech card, and you would also get a Tapestry card. So it's up to you whether you would think it's worth.
But 2 points doesn't seem that useful.
Okay.
And I've already got a shed load of Tapestry cards for some reason.
You have gained them at a rate of knots, haven't you? Alright. I got an advancement, but I can't I can't upgrade because I don't have any technology yet. Alright. Interesting. That could be fun.
So, I think I want to do that. I'm not going to be doing that. Sure, let's give this a try.
It's interesting. We've gone down very different routes. We both have ended up with 8 resources at the end at the beginning of this round or this age.
Go with that. That will do.
Okay. Nice. Okay, I will advance on the exploration track, and I'll pay a food and culture. That gives me 5 victory points, and I'm going to pay an additional culture to gain a farm. Nice little farm where I can grow old and stuff. Yeah, a bit there. Okay. It's definitely a heavier game than we usually play on these streams.
Yeah. Okay, let's see if my plan comes together.
Mm.
Not really that much of a plan, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Just that I used my exploration to get 2 more territory tiles the previous turn, and then I went and did the military one that gives me victory points for territory tiles in my supply.
Nice.
So it gave me 6 victory points, but I'm still losing 17 to 68.
Yeah. Okay. So, I don't know why it's giving me the option to show that I could go up on my exploration, because I can't. So, do I either go for tanks or nutrition? That is the age-old question, tanks or nutrition. I think I'm going to advance on carpentry, actually, I think, and gain a market. So I'm going to pay a gold coin, and then I'll pay culture to play a market, which I can play here. And then I gain a resource back. Which is not the worst thing in the world. Alright. And confirm.
Okay. Well, this isn't optimal in terms of victory points, but I think it's the right move. So I get to place a structure.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, okay.
Get himself another tech.
Yeah, I think I will get myself a tech. Right, I must invent. What shall I invent?
You have the choice between the assembly line, the dynamite, or the printing press, or you could just have inspiration hit you and take a blind technology card.
Yeah, dynamite doesn't actually seem that useful at the minute, because there's nothing good for me to conquer. Oh, I really don't want any more tapestry cards though. And the assembly line doesn't seem that useful. Okay, let's take blind fate.
I imagine the assembly line is situationally useful if you have advanced on certain points. What did you get? A barn?
I got a barn.
Okay.
Okay, well, at least it's something I have the prerequisite. I'm close to the prerequisite for.
Yeah, you just need to advance a couple of times and you'll be good. Right. It is me.
Quite how you're managing to build such a civilization without.
Breeding. I don't know.
You don't even have language.
I don't know. What I have is I have sharp sticks and pointing, and then yelling. It's a very Viking civilization. All right, I am going to pay a gold and a culture to advance on the science track. So I get a house that I get to place, and then I'll get a victory point for the house. I'm going to put the house. Oh no, hang on, no, reset. No, I don't want to do that. Can I cancel the turn? Reset turn. Dang it. I've done things out of order and I can't undo. Or can I undo? Yes, I can undo. Hooray. Right, I wanted to take tanks instead, and I'll pay the coin and the culture for that. Confirm. So I get to place a tank factory. And that automatically fills out one of my 3x3, so I gain another resource. And I will take a... Let's take a coin. And then I can conquer a hex. Don't want to take that one just yet. So I'll take one down here which has food on it. And then I'll take another food. Confirm. Okay. I feel better about that choice.
Go for tunnels.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
So place an X down.
Mm-hmm.
So how? Use dash. I think that works. Let's see. Yeah. So yeah, place that. Select that. That. Ooh. Okay. Yes. Good point game.
Good points is always good to gain.
Yeah. No, the way it was putting it.
Oh.
It put the hex down. I was going to change it, and I realised no, the way the computer does it is actually
Fine.
better for me looking ahead.
Okay. Alright, I'm going to advance on my... I'm going to advance to stone tools. And I'm going to invent.
How have you invented tanks before stone tools?
I don't know, but I've now invented a compass. So now now I know where to point my tanks. Sure. All right, it is your turn.
Oh, yes, so it is. Right, I am going to do that.
So you're going to conquer and gain an armory.
Ooh, what's the question mark?
So that's another exploration tile, a terrain tile, or you can gain victory points for the number of tiles you control. So you can either gain 2 points, or you can gain another tile.
Neither of those are that spectacular, to be honest.
And 2 points is 2 points. Might as well.
Yeah, I would have a bunch of.
All right, and now you can place your structure. Now, are you going to upgrade? Gain
Yeah,
attack.
I think I am going to upgrade.
Okay. Interesting.
So I may upgrade a technology.
Mm-hmm.
So I could build the library.
Yeah.
Move up the barn or move up the treasury. Well,
if I may.
Yeah.
Because you are probably going to be passing to the next age next turn, you will advance stuff. You will advance your technologies. So if a technology is at the top tier, it won't advance, but if it's in the middle, it will.
Good thinking.
I will just double check that is a thing that happens when you do upgrade a. I don't know if it's upgrade a single tech card.
I think it's upgrade 1, but it's fine. It's sort of I can sort of have a queue ready.
Yes, that's true. Okay, so I'm going to. The only move I can take is I can advance in the technology, so I gain a forge. I'm going to pop there. Or I could put it there. There feels... Makes not a lot of difference, actually. I'm still making life a bit more difficult for myself later on, but that's okay. So I now get to invent, but I get to refresh the tech first. So let's see what options I have. I have the stock market. I have concrete, because of course I've developed tanks before concrete, or irrigation. Irrigation feels like a very Roman sort of thing to do, to go and conquer and then put in irrigation. I'm not saying I'm the Romans, but I'm not saying that. So
I mean, they invented concrete as well, didn't they?
I think so. A form of. So let's see. So I could gain, for concrete, I would gain a market when it upgrades, and then I can gain a victory point for each market in my capital city. So I would have 2 by that point. Not the worst thing in the world. Or the stock market, which gets me 5, and then the stock market fills out a 2x2 square. I think I am going to develop concrete. I've now added in eyeglasses, which when you upgrade it gives you another tech card, so that's pretty handy. Alright, you and I are both entering the new age at the same time, but you are entering it first. You get a bonus 3 resources. I can't stop hearing myself say resources instead of resources. I don't know why, but I am, and it's just happening. So,
Okay, so I will definitely want to one of them. Yeah, let's just go with things I'm very likely to be doing. Right, and now let's have a bit of fun.
Oh no.
I'm going to start a revolution.
You're in a revolution, I want a revelation. So listen to my declaration.
Choose up to 3 of my knocked over outposts to stand
Ooh.
up. So I'm going to take the 2 you knocked over.
Oh ho ho.
Aha! And I'm revolting, and I'm taking it.
You are revolting, then.
Back over.
You are revolting, you terrible person. Nicely done. Yeah, that seems about right. I've just looked at where I can develop going further on the up the war track. Nuclear weapons. Sure, why not? Let's nuke you. Dang, dirty ape. Alright, I am going to roll and see what happens with this. Okay, that's technology. I'm going to roll again. That's exploration. One more, why not? 50-50. That's science. Alright, I'm going to stop there. So I advance up. Technology track. I can advance into tunnels. And I can advance into nutrition. And then I must play a tapestry card. So let's have a look at what I've got. So, no. That card would have been useful earlier when I wasn't ahead of you in every track, apart from one, which we're tied on. Okay, you know what? Sure, you started this. I'm going to pillage and plunder. Whenever I conquer an opponent's territory, I gain the results of both conquer dice. Traps cannot be played against me. I can now choose. I can either upgrade a compass and get 2 territory tiles, or I can gain a house with concrete. So I'm going to do upgrade the concrete to place a market. Kick up the concrete. Bang, bang, bang. Alright, concrete goes there. Oh, my concrete house. Alright, it is your turn. You can advance or take income. Oh, hey, Danny. Danny Sovereignty has come and joined us in the chat. First time chatter. Hello. How are you doing, Danny? Absolute pleasure to have you here. Danny says, good, how are you? I am doing well, thank you. I think we're both doing okay. Dom's a little bit tired because early shifts at work. And I am glad that it's Friday in a few hours, so we get to have the weekend. But no, it's going great. We are playing a game of Tapestry, which I'm enjoying. I don't know how Dom's feeling about it.
Yeah, I am enjoying it.
Woohoo from Danny. Yes. Yeah. No, we're having a good time. Thank you so much for coming along and joining us. So Danny has reminded me that we are going to be playing on Sovereignty app on Wednesday. We are going to be playing a game of Forbidden Desert. We're going to be playing a co-op game, so Dom and I will not be fighting against each other. We'll be working together to try and beat an evil sandstorm.
That's what you think.
Oh, there's a hidden traitor mechanic option that is in there now, is there?
Well, I don't know if Ross is fake, so one of us has to be a traitor.
That's true. That is true. There can't be a true co-op game in Crit and Survive. We have to have some form of traitor. But yeah, we're going to give that a go next week and see how that pans out. Danny Sovereignty says, so exciting, I love Forbidden Desert. Haha, hidden traitor. Do you know what? A hidden traitor would be an interesting upgrade. I'm just putting out there, Matt Leacock, if you are listening, and I know you are, you're always lurking in chat. I know you're there, don't lie to me. Expansions for all of the Forbidden series, chuck in a hidden traitor. That will make things really interesting. Alright, I have got the capability. What did you do, Dom, by the way, whilst I was talking to Danny and pontificating to the world?
I advanced to trains, so I got to build a train station and also explore a new tile.
Nice. Okay, what options have I got here? So I could advance into steel to gain a victory point for each armory and gain a market, and I can pay a resource to invent technology. I could conquer with some warplanes. Oops, traitor. I haven't played Tapestry before. Can you tell me a little bit about it? Yeah, so it is a Stonemaier civilization game where we are advancing along these 4 different tracks for science, for exploration, for technology, and for military. And as we progress through them, each of the tracks, they cost different amounts and we gain different benefits for them. So I have invested heavily into my science and my war. Dom's gone more into the exploration and leaned into exploring down that track. And those are the options that we can take. We can follow those different paths and see how they pan out. We've had a little bit of conflict in the middle here. I thought I'd won, and then there was a revelation. And
Revolution?
A revolution, even. It's because I've got Hamilton lyrics in my head when you said revolution. You want a revolution? I want a revelation. So listen to my declaration. And overthrew the green Towers of Doom and replaced them with these red Towers of Doom. But we have our own different civilizations. So I have got the alchemists as my main leads here, who have given me some very lucky income turns to sort of progress along those tracks without gaining the benefit, but it pushes me further along, which is always helpful. And we've developed our civilizations. Dom is developing the craftsman and is building a massive statue, creating a wonder in that world, and advancing on these different tracks that you can see along there, which is I like that. I think yours is quite clever. It's very different, and also
I like gaining bonuses for doing things.
Yes. It is very cool. We're playing this on Board Game Arena. It's also available on Tabletopia, but we chose to play on Board Game Arena because it does a lot of the stuff for us.
Yes, this would take so long.
It would take a long time.
Especially first game.
Yeah, exactly. I think we might try it on Tabletopia, but probably offline and see how it goes. But it is a lot of fun. What sort of games do you enjoy, Danny? Obviously, you like Forbidden Desert, but tell us a little bit about the games that you enjoy. That's always good to find out.
Dessert.
Hidden dessert. That's the follow-up to Sushi Go, I think. Alright, I think I'm going to advance my military, so I have to pay 1 culture and 2 other resources. I'm going to pay a food and another culture to advance here. So I have now developed warplanes, so I can conquer a territory anywhere on the map. So I'm going to conquer over here. And I have pillage and plunder, which means I gain both of the resources that come from this die, and I can pay a resource to gain a tapestry card. There's not a huge amount of benefit of playing a tapestry card now because we're not going to be adding anything to our tapestry at this stage. So I'm going to decline that bonus and confirm that turn. There we go.
Then.
Okay.
Okay, so you wanna do me, do you?
Danny Sovereignty has said, I like co-ops. I really enjoy tile placement games like Planet Unknown, Cascadia, Isle of Cats, etc. We really enjoyed Cascadia when we played it. Tom, Laura and I played it a little while back. You can have a look on our previous stuff. If you go into board games, you can see some of our previous games on YouTube where we did play Cascadia. I really enjoyed that. We've also, you and I and Laura played Isle of Cats. And that was an interesting game. I think you and I enjoyed it more than Laura did. She got very unlucky with some of the cards that she pulled.
Yeah, she did. Am I going to get unlucky with the cards you've pulled? Are you playing a trap card?
Let's see, where are you conquering? Yes, I am. I picked up 2 trap cards early on. I don't know how or why. We haven't played Planet Unknown yet. That's one of the ones on Sovereignty, though, isn't it, Danny? I seem to remember. So that might be one that we try a little bit later on. Yes, it is on Sovereignty. Excellent. Oh, I forgot to... Nightbot. I forgot to change you. We're not playing... we aren't playing Carcassonne or Tokaido. That's what we did yesterday. Why did you not update? Tapestry, it's Luke and Dom. Whoops. Let's see. Submit. Hopefully, Nightbot will update that. Yeah, well, we might give that a go on Sovereignty in the future. I am going to advance my physics. So I pay a person, a culture, and a money. And I can take the advance and get the benefit of one of my other resources. I'm going to develop anti-aircraft defences. So I can build an armory, which I'm going to build up here. No, I'll build it down here. Build an armory down there. And I gain a number of victory points equal to the tapestry cards I've got played out and that are in my hand. So I got 9 points for advancing there. Okay. Dom, it is your turn.
Yes, it is.
Let's see. But then let's see if that has updated. Hello, Tilly. Okay, go.
So, do you want to go ahead and trap me again, Luke?
I would love to, but I don't have any this time. So I will pass
Wow, you
that.
mean I actually get to do something?
You actually get to conquer me. Where did you conquer? Oh, the Central Islands. Well done. Alrighty. Apologies for the lapping of dog that you may be able to hear. She's quite thirsty, bless her. Hello, Teddy. Hello. Good. Bless her. Alright. What would I like to do? I can't advance on my science track anymore because I don't have the people. I could go. Let's see, what's this one? 4x4, that's huge. I could build a nuclear bomb. And then I can pay a tapestry card on top of my current tapestry card, which could be interesting. But I get to only the one that's on top activates. Let's see. Alright, I am going to advance to steel. And I gain a market. Down here. Okay, that. I could do this. I think I'll do this. So I'll gain an extra culture, and I can pay a resource to invent something. What could I invent? I'll invent irrigation. Why not? Let's pay a food to get some irrigation. Alright. We have now introduced canned food as a possible development in the future.
Interesting.
Nightbot is catching up with all the alerts that it should push out every so often.
I have just noticed that one of the points in the culture track is tabletop games.
Yeah, I saw that earlier as well, which I quite like. Tabletop games. It comes after team sports. So they developed rugby before they developed Dungeons and Dragons. Which seems about right, to be fair. What are you thinking about today? Hello.
Let's do that.
Okay, it's still going.
Yes, I can.
I'd say, even for a game that claims that it takes 90 minutes to play, 90 to 120 minutes to play, I feel that this is optimistic. As board games often are.
Okay, that's weird.
What's up? What happened?
Well, I invented, and I took the eyeglasses. No, that's fine. I know what's happening. No, it's fine.
What's up?
No, I was misreading the card.
Ah, right. Because you get them when it's upgraded, is that right?
Yes, yeah.
Alright. Do I want to invent rubber or do I want to invent the nuclear bomb? I think I want to create. Yep, let's go thermonuclear. So I can now place a fusion reactor in my civilization somewhere. Except I can't actually place it anywhere. Let's see if I rotate it. So you are allowed to you are allowed to place it if it hangs off the board, which most of my fusion reactor has. So it's just on the outskirts of the city, which I think is probably not the least sensible thing in the world for it to do. It feels like it could be dangerous. So let's see. I will gain victory points for my exploration. Hello, welcome back. And I can play a tapestry over my current one. So let's see. So, I might as well talk through the options because it doesn't make any difference whatsoever. So I've got the Technocracy, which, if I'm the first one to enter this era, I gain technology and upgrade it. If I'm not the first player to enter the era, I gain 3 victory points per opponent. Socialism, which I choose an advancement track, and I advance or regress to match the closest opponent. The Dark Ages, which I can regress 3 different tracks if possible, and then I can advance 3 times on the remaining tracks. On the remaining track, but I don't get any benefits. Colonialism, I choose a territory tile I control, and for each of the following, based on the terrain that's on it, I can gain different resources. Or I could Age of Sail, when I explore, I gain 3 territory cards. I'm kind of thinking that either the Colonialism to get more resources, or the Dark Ages might be better for me, weirdly. Because if I push right up on the science track, I could advance a few spaces on the science track, but it's not really worth it. But I could regress on science, exploration, and technology, and push up in war. I think I'm going to go for colonialism. So I can now choose one of my unexplored. Let's see. Danny, thanks. Danny, thanks for chatting. I hope you have a great rest of the stream. Thank you so much, Danny. I think we're probably going to be wrapping this up in the not too distant future. We're at 80% through, so we're going to get there. Thank you so much for coming and joining us, Danny.
I've lost.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll hope to see you next week when we play on Sovereignty. We'll see you then. Thank you very much for joining us. Let's undo that. See you next week. Bye, Danny. Right. No, I've just undone my turn. So let's go back to what I was doing. Take that. Explore for victory points. What I've got resource-wise, I've not got a lot. Sure. Let's do the colonialism. So let's see. culture, or I can get food and culture. No, let's get this tile. Yeah, pop it there. What? Ooh, something's going wrong. That's weird. All right. Ooh, going up. The science die just
One
rolled for
thing
some
I've
reason.
got. No, it's my turn.
Oh, okay.
The one thing I could do was advance my science track.
Mm-hmm. Now you get to advance it again, which is always useful. Do you want a house, or do you want to do more science?
Good question.
Oops.
How's this appealing? I don't know if it benefits me that much. Okay, so let's. Let's try that.
Ooh, nice.
Okay.
Chaining those moves.
Yeah, it's not exactly what I thought was going to happen, but okay. Um, well, why not? Two tapestry cards. There's some more.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I can't do that more than once.
Alright, I can't make any more moves, so I have to go for income into the next phase. So I'm now going into the 5th phase. So it's be interesting. Alright, let's see what happens. Time to roll. Okay, science. Technology. I'm going to stop there with just those two. Going to advance my neuroscience. I can place a laboratory somewhere, maybe. I doubt it. Don't think I can. Have to place it outside the city bounds, sadly. Then I will advance on Rubber Works, which I also cannot place. Yeah, I'll have to put that somewhere else as well. So I can upgrade a technology. I have now ended my game.
Yeah. And I'm about to end mine. I
Okay.
believe.
And Don has ended the game. So, with the final scores, 138 to 77. That didn't feel to me like it was a 61-point difference. I don't know about you.
I don't know. No, it did feel like it to me.
Oh.
You seemed to get very lucky. Your dice kept you going up the track without having to pay the resources.
Yeah.
And that meant you always had more resources than me. And then you had trap cards, so...
Yeah, that wasn't for...
I couldn't conquer your territories, and then you conquered mine and took more resources away from me. I just felt starved of resources and not able to do that much.
That was an unfortunate combination of events, I have to say. I did not... Because trap cards are... I think there's maybe 4 in the deck, and somehow I had 2 of them. And I'm not entirely certain how that happened. But what did you think of the game? That aside, what do you think of the game?
Yeah, I like the game. I'd like to try it again now I've got more idea what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I think I would as well.
And maybe try a different strategy. I'm not sure if it's better or worse, but
yeah, that's
something different.
I think that's the thing. You've got different strategies depending on your different civilizations and different things that your starting character, I guess, focuses on. I went with a luck strategy that paid off. In other games, that probably wouldn't have paid off quite so well. But science seems quite strong. You're getting advancements up there. But I guess on the other hand, it does take you up there without getting the benefits of placing stuff out. So, who knows? But I think that is all we have time for this week. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming along and joining us for this adventure. We are not going to be streaming tomorrow because I am out. I'm going to go see Six at the theatre. So that's going to be an interesting experience. We will be back next week. We'll be back on Wednesday, where we're going to be playing Forbidden Desert on Sovereignty. Don, are you going to be here for that?
Yeah, I am.
Excellent. And hopefully Laura and Tom or others will be feeling able to join us as well. But until then, thank you very much for joining us, everyone. If you want to check out some of our previous stuff, do follow us. Subscribe on YouTube if you're watching this on the VOD, so you can go and see what else we are up to. You can check out our D&D stuff. You can check out our Instagram, Eat, Quit, Survive, and Twitter. And you can just keep following us here on Twitch and seeing how we get on. But until we see you again, thank you very much for joining us, and good night. Stay safe.